It's time now for the Muletrain News Program on this Wednesday, March the 27th, 2024, brought to you by Leal's Mexican Restaurant. Chapel service for Beatrice M. Campos, 81 of Muleshoe, is set for 11 o'clock this morning, Wednesday, March 27th, at the Ellis Funeral Home Chapel here in Muleshoe. Burial will be in the Bailey County Cemetery. Beatrice died Sunday, March 24th here in Muleshoe. She was born September 9th, 1942 in Manzanillo, Colorado, to Luterio Leo and Anila Cruz Chavez. She married Rudy Campos here in Muleshoe January 7th, 1960. Beatrice loved music and dancing. She also enjoyed sewing and crocheting. Beatrice was an avid gardener and loved her flowers. She was a great cook and liked to bake. She was known for her pecan pie and pink cake. Beatrice loved hard and disciplined harder. She was commanding but not demanding. She had a huge heart. Beatrice took care of everyone and was a grandma to all. She is preceded in death by her husband, Rudy, her parents, two sisters, Josie Ovalle and Roseanne Chavez, four brothers, Rosendo Chavez, Robert Chavez, Leo Chavez, Simon Chavez, and Cecilio Chavez, and a great-granddaughter, Taylor Gardia. Beatrice is survived by her two sons, Johnny Campos and his wife Sylvia of Muleshoe, and Roy Perez and his wife Herlinda of Lubbock. Her daughter Anita Loya, her husband Marin of Great Bend, Kansas. Three sisters, Barbara Fuentes and her husband Pedro of Texaco, Roseanne Gloria and her husband Ruben of Muleshoe, and Rachel Lopez and her husband Mike of Lubbock. Two brothers, Juan Chavez and his wife Sandy of Muleshoe, Benny Chavez and his wife Rosalinda of Muleshoe, and five grandchildren, 17 great-grandchildren, and four great-great-grandchildren all survived Beatrice. The family suggests memorials be made to the Muleshoe Meals on Wheels program, 300 South 1st Street, Suite 110, Muleshoe, Texas, 79347. Online condolences can be made at ellisfuneralhomes.com on their website. And repeating, chapel service for Beatrice M. Campos, 81 of Muleshoe, is being held this morning at 11 a.m. Wednesday, March 27th at the Ellis Funeral Home Chapel here in Muleshoe. Burial will be in the Bailey County Cemetery. Please keep the Campos family on your prayer list today. Church service for Maria Olga Lozano, 93 of Muleshoe, were held this past Monday morning, Monday, March the 25th, at the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church, with Father Lopez officiating. Burial was in the Bailey County Cemetery. Maria died Friday, March 22nd, here in Muleshoe. She was born January 29th, 1929, in Turan, Mexico, to Felicitio and Romanita Vargas Lacerio. She married Ines Alque Lozano in Mexico on May the 17th, 1948. Maria was a member of the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church here in Muleshoe. She is preceded in death by her husband, Ines, a son, Margarito Lozano, four sisters, Estela Lopez, Margarita Beltran, Maria de la Luz, and Irma de la Cruz, a grandson, Mickey Lozano Jr., a granddaughter, Julieta Lozano, two great-grandsons, Johnny Joe Lozano and Isaiah Ramirez. Maria survived by three sons, Gonzalo Lozano Sr. and his wife, Rebecca of Muleshoe, Jose Lozano of Clovis, and Raul Lozano of Muleshoe. Three daughters, Santiago Zapata and her husband Greg of Muleshoe, Elva Rivas and her husband Johnny of Hobbs, and Juanita Marinas and her husband Ralph of Columbia, Tennessee. She's survived by 13 grandchildren, 33 great-grandchildren, and four great-great-grandchildren. Online condolences can be made at ellisfuneralhomes.com. Please keep the family of Maria Olga Lozano, 93 of Muleshoe, on your prayer list today. Again, her funeral services were held this past Monday, March the 25th, at the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church, and burial followed in the Bailey County Cemetery. Well, it is Holy Week here in Muleshoe and across the globe, and the Bailey County Ministerial Alliance is wrapping up their Holy Week services that was held. The first one you can watch, we live streamed it Sunday evening from the First Baptist Church, and the Palm Sunday service that evening. You see it on our front page right now at muleshoetv.com. Sergio Leal brought the message, and then they had a service at noon the past 3 days, and then they will finish up the Ministerial Alliance's Holy Week on this coming Sunday morning, Easter morning, Sunday, March the 31st at 7:30 a.m. in the New City Park on Avenue D, right across the street from 16th and D, Church of Christ. The Easter sunrise service, sponsored by the Bailey County Ministerial Alliance. Everyone is invited. Of course, you can see our this past Sunday, Palm Sunday messages and full services from the Muleshoe Methodist Church and Dave Maccabee, and then Jeff Kaufman at the Calvary Baptist Church, available on demand anytime you want to watch those, along with the Palm Sunday service from Dr. Stacey Connor at First Baptist Church from Sunday morning, free of charge on our website, muleshoetv.com. And of course, we'll do that once again this coming Sunday, live stream from the First Baptist Church, and Dr. Stacey Connor's Easter Sunday message this March 31st will be, "Do not be alarmed, he is not here." Mark 16, 1 through 8. That is what Dr. Stacey Connor will be preaching on this coming Sunday. And then, of course, later on by 1 to 2 o'clock that afternoon, we'll have up on our website the Muleshoe Methodist Church Easter service and Dave Maccabee, his message, along with Jeff Kaufman's message in the full service from Calvary Baptist Church. So join us every Sunday, muleshoetv.com on our website. Well, we had some really, really crazy weather this past Sunday. It really feels like we are squarely in the spring already, as we've been swinging wildly between really nice weather and then colder weather and extremely windy weather. Too bad we still haven't gotten any measurable moisture here in the Muleshoe area really all year long so far, but let's all keep on our prayer list that weather will change and we will start getting rain as we get into the spring months especially. And it is time now for our weather forecast, brought to you today by Allen Mount Insurance Agency. Amber Richardson, the agent there, she's in her offices, and they're open Monday through Fridays, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. at 1702 West American Boulevard, or you can call the office number 806-272-7666, or her cell is 806-566-5590. They're your small town insurance agency. Allen Mount Insurance Agency specializes in auto, commercial, trucking, SR22s, business and personal insurance, quotes from multiple companies. They also offer Mexico insurance. Say habla español at Allen Mount Insurance Agency. Again, they're at 1702 West American Boulevard. They're open Monday through Fridays, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. right here in Muleshoe. They're insuring Muleshoe and all of Texas. Call Amber Richardson, the agent, or any of her helpful staff at 806-272-7666, or her cell is 806-566-5590. And Allen Mount Insurance, thanks for sponsoring our weather forecast here on Channel 6. Well, as I mentioned, that just nasty front came through, created a lot of severe storms, but they were all to the east and to the north of us, Kansas, Oklahoma, and North Texas, but we just didn't get anything but nasty, nasty wind this past Sunday. And our high max wind topped out on Sunday right around the 5 o'clock hour at 62 miles per hour. South of us, the Mesonet station at Morton got a 67 mile per hour wind. Friona topped out at 65 miles per hour. The Earth Mesonet, which is right next to Tolk Plant, it was the highest in the whole area, and its high wind gust happened around 1:12 p.m. in the Sunday afternoon, and it topped out at 68.5 miles per hour. Just an incredible wind day where we did have some fires in the area, but our fire department successfully put them out. We've just been extremely lucky that we haven't had any wildfires like they had earlier in March up in the Panhandle, but so far we have been very, very lucky. But as I mentioned earlier, please pray for rain. Keep rain on the top of your prayer list. And looking at our forecast going forward, mostly sunny today, this afternoon. A high around 58 degrees, northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. For Wednesday, mostly clear. Wednesday night, low around 28 degrees, north winds 5 to 15 miles per hour, becoming southeast after midnight. Sunny on Thursday, high near 72. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, increasing to 15 to 20 miles per hour Thursday afternoon. So look for a little bit windier day tomorrow afternoon, but not too awful. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low around 41. So much, much warmer. Might want to mention that we did have a much cooler day with the high only around 40 on Monday after that front moved through on Sunday. And our low was down at 19 degrees. So we had a hard freeze a Monday night going into Tuesday morning, and it stayed freezing well around until 10 o'clock Tuesday morning. But let's hope those deep, hard freezes are past us now as we get out of the month of March. Friday, mostly sunny, high near 80 degrees, so we're going to get all the way up to 80 by Friday to end the week off. That will be very nice. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, increasing to 15 to 20 miles per hour Friday afternoon. Partly cloudy Friday night, low around 44. Southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, mostly sunny, high near 80 again. West winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Gusts as high as 25 miles per hour, possible Saturday afternoon. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, low around 48. Southwest winds around 15 miles per hour. Then Sunday for Easter, partly sunny, high near 80 again. Of course, breezy conditions with the southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour, increasing to 20 to 25 miles per hour Sunday afternoon. If it's just 20 to 25 miles per hour, we can live with it when you put it up to last Sunday where we had a 62 mile per hour max wind. But pray that we have a nice Easter Sunday. Sunday night, mostly cloudy, low around 44. Monday, looking for a sunny day, first day of April, high near 72 degrees. Monday night, partly cloudy, low around 32. Tuesday, a slight chance of showers, mostly sunny, high near 54. So we'll cool back down as we get into the first week of April next week and maybe have some rain chances coming into the forecast. Allen Mount Insurance and Amber Richardson, the agent, has brought to you this edition of the weather forecast. Right now at 12:26 in the noon hour on Wednesday, March 27th, it is 50 degrees. This edition of the Muletrain News is brought to you today by Leal's Mexican Restaurant. We'll be back after a message from our sponsors. Here in Muleshoe at the original Leal's, 1010 West American Boulevard, they have a new bar with a bar menu that includes domestic beers, priced very affordably, including Coors for $3.50, Miller Lite $3.50, Bud Light $3.75, Budweiser $3.75, Michelob Ultra $3.50, and Shinerbach $3.75. In their import beer menu, Corona is $4, Tecate is $2.75, Modelo $4, Modelo is special $4, Dos Equis is $4, Pacifico $4.25, Victoria is $4.25, Corona Premier is $4. On their mixed drinks, the Sangria Swirl marked at $9 now. Beer Ritas $11.50. Sangria $8. Sangria wine $8. Strawberry margaritas, frozen or on the rocks $8.50. Mango margarita, frozen or on the rocks $8.50. House Margarita, frozen or on the rocks, only $8. And the Micheladas with any beer is $8.50. That's the brand new bar menu available now when they're open at Leal's Mexican Restaurant, 1010 West American Boulevard. Victor, Debbie, Angelica, all their employees say come down and try their new bar menu available now at Leal's, the original Leal's, right here in Muleshoe, 1010 West American Boulevard. Don't forget, new at the new original Leal's. Also, they are now delivering. You can call Leal's of Muleshoe at 806-272-3294, and they'll deliver right to your door, hot, fast, fresh Mexican food from Leal's in Muleshoe, the original. Again, they deliver right here in the Muleshoe area. Call 806-272-3294. Texas Health Steps keeps your child healthy through the Muleshoe Area Medical Center. Texas Health Steps is healthcare for children through age 20 who have Medicaid and gives your child free medical checkups starting at birth. Checkups can help find health problems before they get worse and harder to treat. Keep your little cowboy or cowgirl healthy with Texas Health Steps. If you have Medicaid insurance, call the Medical Clinic of Muleshoe at 806-272-7544, 806-272-7544 to schedule your child's free medical checkup through Texas Health Steps and the Muleshoe Area Medical Center. Well, congratulations, as we have had a lot of great track performances from Muleshoe High School varsity track members as this track season. Jermaine Flores broke a 29-year-old triple jump record with a jump of 44 feet and 8 inches. He did that earlier at the A-Cuff Relays at Lubbock Roosevelt, and that 29-year-old record was set back in the mid-90s. I believe it was 95 or 96 by Daniel Garbarino, who jumped 43 feet and 11 inches. Jermaine Flores breaking that very nicely with 44 feet and an 8-inch jump. So congratulations, Jermaine Flores. If you don't remember Daniel Garbarino, he was the son of Eileen and Mark Morton here in Muleshoe, and probably graduated in the class of 97 or probably in the class of 96 or 97 from Muleshoe High School, and had that 29-year-old record that Jermaine Flores broke earlier at the A-Cuff Relays in Lubbock Roosevelt. Then on the girls' side, a new school record was set by Vita Mora. She breaks a 46-year-old Lady Mule 200-meter record previously held by Evelyn Grace and set in 1978, 25.59. The new record is 25.46. So congratulations to Vita Mora breaking Evelyn Grace's formerly held 200-meter school record. That stood for 46 years, so that is pretty amazing. Congratulations to Vita Mora. Then Daniels Signs broke Austin Ross's 10-year-old 200-meter record. So both the boys and girls broke 200-meter school records. He ran a time of 21:30 and again broke Austin Ross's 10-year-old 200-meter record. Congratulations to Daniel Signs. He ran, again, 21.30. That's the new 200-meter boys Muleshoe High School track record. Congratulations again, Daniel Signs, Vita Mora, and also Jermaine Flores for breaking school records in track and field. And all of our track and field will be in action again this coming Friday. The high school will be at the Shallow Water track meet all day. Watson Junior High track will be at Shallow Water on Thursday beginning at 1 p.m. So good luck to all our junior high and high school track athletes as they're in action this week at Shallow Water. Some other things going on in the school system. The district golf tournament round 1 is going on at Meadowbrook in Lubbock. today, beginning today. Then our baseball and softball teams will be in action this coming Saturday, March the 30th, right here in Muleshoe. They'll be taking on the Lady Cats and Wildcats of Littlefield right here in Muleshoe at the New City Park there on the east end of the park. The first games will first pitch will be at noon, and then at 2 p.m. JV at noon and varsity at 2 p.m. for the baseball. That's baseball and softball will both simultaneously take on Littlefield this coming Saturday, March the 30th. Be aware there's no school in the Muleshoe schools this coming Friday, Good Friday, March the 29th. We've been invited, and we will film tomorrow morning on Thursday morning, as a lot of the elementary schools will be having all of their huge Easter celebrations and parties. But every year we go up and are invited by Angela Reyes. So thanks to Mrs. Reyes for inviting us to the first grade egg drop there in the school grounds. The Bailey County Electric always sends a line crew with their bucket truck and does the first grade egg drop. And that will be this coming Thursday morning, March 28th. At 10 a.m. in the morning there at Dillman Elementary. Thanks to Mrs. Reyes for inviting us. So if you can't make it out and see that in person, look for our video coming up this Easter weekend of that first grade egg drop. It's always a whole bunch of fun, as the kids always make very interesting and neat things and put an egg in it. And the idea is to drop it from 30 feet in the air to the ground and see if your contraption can keep the egg from breaking. Well, as we mentioned last week in our Muletrain, we were hired to do a project for someone to transfer some VHS to a digital file, and I had to set up all my equipment that I hadn't used in quite a bit, and I thought I would go ahead and when I finish that project and do some stuff that is remembering Mom in memory of Magan Reynolds, of course, who passed away back in February last month. And we released last week a 1984 Halloween costume contest at the Bailey County Coliseum on Halloween night, which was a Wednesday, October 31st, 1984. Mom probably interviews around 50 kids out there all dressed up for Halloween, and we released it on our social media sites, our Facebook, our Twitter, and our YouTube channel. When we shared it on our main Facebook page, Gil Lamb, we got a ton of views and comments. I think we have over 700 views already on this video in less than a week. Megan Harlan Hembry says, that was fun to watch. Brings back so many memories. Cass Carey says, that was the last year we lived in Muleshoe. Love my hometown. Amanda Clifton said, so neat to see. Thank you for sharing. Ann Mount said, thank you for sharing. Ann Johnson said, we moved here to Muleshoe in 84. I remember different groups would make the Coliseum available on Friday nights for kids to skate. The groups were raising money for different projects and charged very little for the kids to come there. Fun times. Julie Hatfield, formerly Gilliland, said that was fun to watch. She was so great with kids. Lisa Whalen says, you hold lots of families' memories. Jane Carlton, that's wonderful. Of course, Jane taught for many years as a fourth grade teacher at DeShazo. Jane Honeycutt and Jane Foster. Lori Pratt, post more of these, please. So nostalgic and absolute awesome to watch. Don and Roger Williams says, how fun to watch. Stacy Miller tagged somebody and said, make sure to watch it. So-and-so time to see you as a child. Terry Martin says, I loved all the interviews she did. I got third or fourth place at the Art Loft Easter egg decorating contest. She asked me why I put a rose on my egg. I said it was because my mom's name is Rosa. I got a really cool chocolate telephone with a spiral cord. Very cool memories, especially since I got to be on TV. So very magical and amazing. Our community has these things to look back on. She really was documenting Muleshoe history in real life. Thank you. Donna Locker says, I sure miss hearing that voice. Brenda Mudford Kirk says, tag someone who was in the video, as along with so many other people did, and we got lots of other ones. I thought one of the interesting ones was from Martin Van Zylst. She said, Martine Van Zalst, I believe. I remember you coming to our farm at Lasbuddy to interview my parents and little sister. We were raising the flowers then, which I remember that so well, that interview, being a young child and going along with Mom when they did that interview. And it was this family that had moved from Holland out to the Lasbuddy area and was raising the most amazing crops of beautiful flowers out there. And I remember that so well as a young child, that interview out there from the mid-'80s in Lasbuddy. Heather Hancock says she really had the best interviews. I enjoy listening to kids just talk. Gil, what was your costume? Anyway, asked some of the costumes, as of course Mom interviewed myself and my brothers. James Cox says her interviews were the best. Brianne Williams says she was so great, always so kind and loving. I love this. Ricky Relsbeck says, wow, thanks. We had just moved to Muleshoe in 1983. Sharon Johnson-Regal says, love this, lots of memories. Anyway, it goes on and on and on. And make sure, if you haven't seen that 1984 Halloween costume contest and Mom interviewing kids, it's available free of charge on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and our Twitter feeds as well. And we'll be going back through more of our VHS tapes and bring up some digital files and release them, remembering Magan Reynolds, who passed away the 1st of February last month. Well, on your prayer list this Holy Week and Easter season, please pray for Sammy Gonzalez and Rowena Myers, Suzanne Nichols, Robert Johnson, Tyrone Clements, John Blackwell, Cliff Black, Wanda Schaefer, Terry Byers, Gabby Stone, Tina Castillo, Bert and Larry Combs, Betty Noble, Joe Jinks, Ed and Carol Cox. Keep on your prayer list today Melba King and Albert Lee, Terry Obenhaus, Bill Lyles. Keep on your prayer list, please, the families that are grieving the recent loss of a loved one, including the family of Veronica Gonzalez, the family of Kim Crane, the family of Kearney Scoggin, the family of Beatrice Campos, the family of Maria Lozano, the family of Joe Ellen Nichols needs to be on your prayer list. The family of Kearney Scoggin and the family of Mom Magan Reynolds. Lots of funerals here in the past couple of months here in the Muleshoe area. Please keep all these grieving families during this Easter season. Well, it's just about time for us to go on this edition of the Muletrain News, brought to you today by Leal's Mexican Restaurant. If you want to listen to any of our Muletrain News programs, our current one, along with all of our archived ones over the past decade, available free of charge on demand on our website, muleshoetv.com. Click on the Muletrain News link at the top center of the page.
I'm Tumbleweed Smith. Students at TCU can take a course in whiskey. Details in a moment on The Sound of Texas.
The Sound of Texas is brought to you here on MuleshoeTV.com by Bailey County Electric Cooperative Association, with offices in Muleshoe at 610 East American Boulevard, as well as in Morton at 1744 State Highway 114. They're celebrating rural electrification right here in the Muleshoe area through Bailey County Electric since 1939. They are owned by the members that they serve. Call 806-272-4504. Check them out online at BCEC. COOP.com. The board of directors, the members, the employees, the manager, CEO David Markle, all hope you enjoy this Sound of Texas with Tumbleweed Smith.
I teach a course at TCU that focuses on whiskey in general.
Dr. Ed Simonik is chair of the chemistry and biochemistry departments at TCU. Since a science course is required to graduate, students take his course in whiskey.
Historically, the course has been very popular. I started at a modest number. We went to a very large class, 50, 60 students. Now I've retreated back down, and typically I have about a dozen students. That way we can sit around a conference table, we can have thoughtful discussions. It's also the right number of people to squeeze into a van to visit local distilleries.
The word whiskey comes from a Gaelic word, meaning the water of life.
Whiskey clearly is popular, and it captures a lot of big ideas in science. It's a great lens to look at history, and it's something that brings us all together.
He says just about every country has a whiskey.
Antarctica has, to the best of my knowledge, no distillery yet.
Texas is becoming a whiskey-making state.
Texas is rich in distilleries due to the momentum of the craft beer movement, this idea that whiskey is gaining in popularity, changes in legislation to make the permitting and costs associated with starting much more reasonable. We've got some of the best whiskeys in the country, if not the world.
The course spends a lot of time on Prohibition, during which time in the 1920s and 30s, the Walgreens chain of drugstores grew from 20 stores to over 400 because it sold whiskey for medicinal purposes.
The Prohibition Amendment says you can't sell it, you can't manufacture it, you can't transport it, you can't import it, you can't export it. Drinking it's still completely legal. The rule of the law was the Volstead Act. And the Volstead Act actually gave specific exceptions, and one was for scientific use, one was for medicinal use, and one was for sacramental use. And so the number of clergy also blossomed in that period as well.
Dr. Simonik says Prohibition was the foundation for the women's rights movement.
It allowed women to do something which was completely unreasonable. That's to get out of the house and pray in front of saloons.
Whiskey is the only alcohol he covers in his course.
Maybe when we're done exploring that one, we'll move to tequila. That seems to be pretty popular as well.
Dr. Ed Simonik of Fort Worth. I'm Tumbleweed Smith with the Sound of Texas.